Hey, 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 welcome to the After Show. This is Ministry on Mission. We just had another amazing episode with Alicia Couri and talking about the ministry of audacity. Listen, she gave so many tips that I had a hard I just had to sit in the background and be quiet for a part of it because I just wanted to take notes. It was so good. It was so good. So we're extremely excited to have you guys here. We're pumped because we get to ask her some more questions. Y'all, she was getting ready to go into her 3-year-old self and how she brought her 3-year-old self from being 3 into today. What? Okay. And you're like, what is she talking about? You have to watch the show. You have to watch the show. So, as I said, I'm extremely excited to bring her. And here is our special guest from today. Welcome, Miss Alicia Couri.
Hey, how are you?
Good. So, welcome
Seems
to
like I
the.
just saw you a minute ago.
I know, right? I know. Welcome. We're pumped
Thank
to have you here. So, this is kind of where we let down our hair a little bit more and we share a bit more in depthly on something specific that you would like for our audience to take away. So we learned so much about you. You guys don't miss our episode. Like, do not sleep on this episode. The bold red that you see here was just as audacious and bolder in the episode. Okay, so make sure you get over there and glean from this amazing superstar and superwoman that we had an opportunity to have on here today. Okay,
you.
you're welcome. Picking up from where we were talking about you as a 3-year-old. I said, wait a minute. She done jumped back there and said, we're going to do a time travel, bring you all the way up here. Okay, so let's start there at least and talk about.
Yes. So, when I recognized that, now during the show, we did talk about those defining moments in your life. And so I recognized that two major things happened to me when I was around 4 years old, 4.5 years old. So my 3-year-old self was unleashed, right? She was that bold kid that says what's on her mind, talks to you, will talk to anybody. She was fun, outgoing, climbed trees, all kinds of stuff. So that was her. And so um, I realized that at 4, two things really happened to me. And one was that my mom cut off all my hair. So my nickname was Bald Head because she said my hair was as unruly as I was. So she cut all my hair off because she would comb it and then I'd go run outside and it'll be like, poof. You used to get that fan. Right. So poof. And so she's like, I can't deal with that. And she just shaved it off. So being the tomboy that I was, everybody started calling me a little boy because I didn't wear dresses a lot. Was always in dirt, outside, climbing trees. So my identity was in question. So I had to keep convincing people, no, I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. I'm a girl. So that was one. And then the second thing, which was more profound, was that we moved. I was born in Trinidad, and our family moved from Trinidad all the way to Australia. And I grew up in a small town that was a university town, and my father was actually the very first Caribbean person that they had ever brought in for this pilot program that the university was having. So he was getting his PhD, and they had this pilot research program, and they were like trying to see if this would be a good opportunity for the university. And so he was the very first from the West Indies student that they brought across to do this program. And so being there, Nobody had ever seen anyone like me. I learned this last year, that a year prior to us moving there, Australia had a whites only immigration policy. So they weren't even allowing blacks or any other ethnicities to legally move over there. So you could just imagine if we're showing up, my sister and I going to school with like somewhere between 9 and 1,200 kids and being the only black kids in the school, right? There was one other child that I ever saw that was an Aborigine, but they knew what that looked like. They didn't know, like, we were a little different. We spoke differently. We looked different. And so, as a 5-year-old child, being questioned about my ethnicity, and I didn't have the answers for kids or adults, like, why is my skin this color? Why do I talk like that? Why is why am my nose like that? Why is my hair like that? Like, they'd never seen braids before. So anytime my mom would, do a cornrow in my hair, they were like fascinated with it. Like, could I touch it? Like, they wanted to touch and feel. So I felt like an exhibit most of the time. And that was the foundation of my wanting to disappear. I had conscious no conscious awareness that over time I just kept withdrawing more and more and more until I didn't speak very much. That same loud, audacious, bold 3-year-old had virtually disappeared. Like, I didn't talk much. People started calling me shy, so I adopted that I was shy. Um, I adopted a lot of things that people said about me, and so that became my reality. That wasn't the truth, though. That was not who I was created to be.
Wow,
And
you make
so
me think
I
about that. Yeah.
yeah. And so I needed to go back there to find me, to bring her back into my current reality, to be bold, to step out, to be brave, to do the things without any fear, because that's who I was.
Because that's who you were.
That's
That's
who I am.
I
That's
love
who I
it.
am.
I love it. I was talking to someone the other day just about how we can slip into just another realm of belief about ourselves that's really not true. But that's when you see people that do very drastic things sometimes, and people in the community might say, "I don't know how they could do that. I don't know why they would do that. I don't understand." And it's like people can make choices, as we spoke about earlier, through lens that are
Looking through the
very,
lens.
yeah, and just
Mhm.
shift and change what they decide to do. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much for just sharing that, the nugget and the endpoint, and the information. Dr. Anita, what's your take on that? What do you think?
Oh, well, my mind goes several places just because whenever I personally hear I am, I think about the great I am. And to be defined in the image of God is what did it for me because I was also that girl that was labeled as shy and never had been shy. Never. I talked too much, right? I was the one that
Yeah,
always
I was always
wanted
like,
all the
"Be
friends.
quiet. Be quiet."
I'm telling you. And so when I came into relationship with the great I am, and I learned by reading the Bible that the great I am lives in me. So if I am lives in me, whoever I am is a reflection of the I am who lives inside of me, right? So then I became audaciously confident. Like, wait a minute. If you're talking about me, you're talking about we. Because that's really who you represent. We are literally, as the Bible tells us in Romans, transformed by the renewing
Mhm.
of our mind that we may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God. We prove it. We begin to walk it out. We begin to assert ourselves and become more like the one we were created to be like. So that is something I often teach women, that I often even share with my nursing students, to really own up to, first of all, that you were created purposefully, beautifully, right? In the image of a perfect God. And right there, that's a boost for people's self-confidence, for their image, right? To know that you have purpose, you have design. that's really, really important. So
Right.
Alicia, you're
Yes.
from Trinidad, and I know so many people often ask you, like, I think I hear a little accent. I think I hear a little something. So you guys know, if you've been part of our audience, that I always do my homework. I always do my homework. So let's learn today about your voiceover work. Some people don't know that you have history of doing those types of things and using your voice in different ways, not just as speaking, not just as a consultant, but doing other things as well. Tell us about that.
Yeah. And that's again back to hating my voice, hating everything about the way it sounds
No
and my
way.
accent and everything, because I was teased so much growing up for my accents. Because when I was in Australia, my accent wasn't Aussie enough. When I was in Trinidad, my accent wasn't Trini enough. so
Pretty.
so I just
Gosh.
like I just speak now however I can speak to enunciate so people
Sure.
understand what I'm saying. And so some people kind of like my voice and have asked me to voice over certain yeah intros and promos and videos. So that's always fun to do when that kind of work comes to me, is just to share my voice using for videos.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to go into that, I literally had somebody ask me about how to do voiceovers. I was like, I'm not the one to ask you. I don't do voiceovers. No. So if somebody was interested in doing that, like, that's my mission, that's my calling. Like, I really feel like I'm supposed to use my voice in that way. Like, how would a person get started doing that? Where should they begin?
Well, it's another form of acting. So they'll need to have an acting or a talent agent to help them get that. The voiceover work that comes to me, because I'm a member of BOMA, we mentioned that in my intro, the Black Owned Media Alliance, and I have because I have a couple different media kind of outlets. The voiceover work comes to me through that. So I don't have an agent, but a lot of people get voiceover work if you have an agent or a talent agent or a manager, an acting manager.
Right. Right. And also just by putting yourself out there,
And
right?
put
Being
yourself, allow
visible.
success to see you.
That part, you mentioned that earlier in the show.
Put
Like,
it on
put yourself
LinkedIn.
out
Let me tell
there.
you, you put that on LinkedIn
Oh my gosh.
and people are going to start messaging you.
Absolutely.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Queen Alicia Couri, for showing up and being here with us. Thank you for being audacious and allowing
Thank
us
you.
to learn about truth and walking in it as we see you speak about it and in your life. So have an amazing rest of your evening. Everyone, make sure you comment on how this has enriched you, how this has grown you. And listen, give a shout out. Give a shout out to Alicia and let her know how you feel about her being audacious and sharing with you about audacious confidence. So
And
thank
before we
you.
go, Alicia, please tell people how to find you. Where are you on all social media as Alicia Couri, or how do we get in touch with you? How do we get your
Yes.
consulting information? Or if we are interested, give us once again how to take that quiz for audacious confidence.
Absolutely. So the easiest way, and the quiz is there too, is ALICIA, Alicia360.com. Alicia360.com. You go to that. All my social media links are there. All my website information, the different websites, the web shows, the books, the everything right there. And there'll be a pop-up to take the quiz. So you'll be able to
Yay.
get everything there.
Alicia360.com. Listen, this has been great, great pleasure. I have thoroughly enjoyed our
Thank you.
conversation. So many nuggets, so many takeaways. Audience, if you have not watched today's Ministry on Mission, you have to watch it because you just missed it. So,
and I want to invite the two of you incredible ladies on my show, Unleash Your Audacious Confidence.
yay!
So let me know when you're available so you could be on my show as well, Unleash Your Audacious
Wonderful.
Confidence on Win Win Women TV.
That would be my
Little
honor.
plug.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, hey, you guys will be seeing us again soon. So, God bless you all. Have a wonderful day. Remember to start your ministry and finish the mission. Bye.
Bye, guys.